Vibe blowing at the J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is.
What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Welcome back to the, the nonsense, the bullshit that we always talk about up on here. I'm down here in Detroit, right? So, let's get on with the story. I'm a little bit surprised. So, where I was located when I was a youngster and started driving truck, right, back in my early 20s, was not the best location. But, see, I wanted to be regional because I was kind of afraid to, like, go out in the big world and go to LA and, Miami and Laredo and Dallas and New York and all that stuff. So I didn't want to go too far away from the house, so I went regional, right? Regional, I don't know about it, but I might do it again here pretty soon because I want to get home more often. But anyway, due to my location in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I went to Chicago and Detroit a lot. Like, a long run for me back then was like going to Cincinnati or maybe St. Louis or Indianapolis or something like that. And I just basically would like run to Chicago and back to Chicago and then over to Detroit and just fucking do it all the time, right? So there's a point to my madness. This place I'm at right here, I used to come here all the time, like several times a week. It used to be a Snapple plant, right? I don't know what they're putting in there now. I didn't even pay attention because I don't give a fuck what goes in my trailer, man. But when I saw the address, I was like, oh, dude, I don't want to go down there. It's like 8 Mile and Davison, like Eminem, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Come on. And I was like, I don't want to go down there, man, but whatever. I come rolling in here, gentrified. Holy shit. Now, granted, this was like 20 years ago when I was down here, I guess, because I'm an old fucker all of a sudden, but it used to be like burned out buildings and dangerous as fuck down here. Like, it made me nervous to come down here, but I had a family, so I did what I had to do, right? And now it's like brand new streets and sidewalks, fancy lamp posts and fucking Starbucks and all the stuff in between, like brand new buildings and houses and every stuff, man. Even this plant, they fixed it up. I used to come here and you would see the bottles of Snapple, and there's these big fucking rats running around all over on them and shit. That's probably like when you drink out of a can, you probably really ought to wash that before you start drinking out of it. I don't, but if you've ever been to some of these plants, they ain't all that great. Yo, what's up, y'all? Hey, y'all notice this, man? I know I just kind of noticed it over the last couple of months that fucking Loves be buying up the old Flying J's, right? Because you can tell by the building that it used to be a Flying J, and now it's a Loves. Kind of goes back to that AB5 video I was talking about, domination and monopolizing shit, right? Just got done talking to the dispatch man. He said the shit is dry out here right now, which, February and March can be pretty rough, but damn, I guess there ain't nothing around. I don't know. Sometimes he says that all the time, but that's what I'm hearing, man. That's what I'm hearing. I was up in here eating at the Denny's, and this, she was a former meth heroin addict, I can tell, with the teeth and the bug eyes and the track marks and all that. And I just kind of wanted to say to her, I lost a lot of friends to death, and some of them, even after they beat the meth and the heroin, they just ain't the same anymore. They all fucked up. Even though they're sober and clean or whatever. But I just kind of want to say to her, man, I'm proud of you. You did good. I can tell you're fucking clean. You're in here working. Good job. And I come out here. What a shit show out here in the parking lot. Jesus, the dude's trying to back in. He's got people driving behind him. Dude pulling out in front. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you foreigners, man? All these junk Volvos all sitting here. Ugh. Get rid of some of this capacity. Like, ship them back. Let's start checking some paperwork. Come on. Man, let me tell you something you guys probably ought to told me. If you need to get car insurance, don't go on like, Car Wizard or whatever those fucking quote sites are and put in all your information so they can find you car insurance. Because these people will stalk you worse than a broker, man. You'll have every car insurance company wanting to suck your dick and emailing you and texting you and calling you weird hours all day, and they just won't give up, man. Holy shit. Like, leave me alone. I already found new car insurance and they just won't stop. So, I should have learned that. You guys, you gotta call it each company or something. Whew. Struggle. Speaking of that, the guy I did through State Farm saved a bunch of money, man, like $250 a month. But I was talking to him, and he used to be a trucker. And at first I was like thinking it was one of those trucking stories, like he worked for Pepsi for 6 months or something, delivering Pepsi. After I talked to him, just his verbiage and shit, I was like, and the shit he was saying and his timing and all that, I was like, oh, he is a real trucker and actually done this for a while. And I'm like, how long did you do it? He said 10 years. I said, well, how long ago did you quit? He's like, year and a half ago. He's like, fuck it. He's like, I turned in my lease, and he went and got his agent's license or whatever for insurance agent prior to turning in his truck, and now he's an insurance agent. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying about some of my friends, out there that I was telling you about. They're leaving the industry and they're not ever coming back, and I can guarantee you they won't be back because they went and found other jobs. Yes, they make less money. Yes, they got to get rid of their Harley, and their boat and shit like that, but they don't care anymore. They don't give a fuck anymore, and I'm to the point where I kind of don't either anymore. There's quality of life, and then there's this shit. So, these trucks here, this stuff over here, this fucking 900-year-old Volvo and all that, and all the other ones around here. Y'all can have this OTR shit, alright? Y'all can have it. Fuck it. Run it to the fucking ground like you're doing. Run the wages down, run the fucking paper mile down, all the bullshit down. Until we're all driving fucking junk. I had a brand new Volvo like that 18 years ago or something. I actually had one just like that. But it was brand new. And that was actually 2009. So it really was like 15 years ago. That's how old that fucking junk is. It's like rub marks all over the side of the fucking steer tire and shit, where he keeps hitting the curb with his steer tire. We're doing some quality. We're the real fucking high quality shit out here, But yeah, man, the insurance guy said, fuck all this bullshit. I'll go be an insurance agent. Just coincidentally had that conversation. Because I ain't too much longer before I'm going to have a back window behind me. Or something else. I'm getting to the point where I might just go be a mechanic or fucking work at a goddamn factory and smoke weed all day or some shit. I just barely am going to be able to tolerate this much longer out here. It ain't the trucking life shit. I've been doing that for 20 years. I've been out here solid for 15. It's the fucking junk and the foreigners and the new drivers and the non-training and the people I gotta go up here and yell at right now at the fuel on so I can get the fuel. Watched a big dude beat the shit out of didn't beat the shit out of him, but roughed up a little Indian dude yesterday, taking his 30-minute break. And then a 120-pound little Indian dude mouthing off to like 280-pound pot-belly fat white guy about taking his break. Because the white guy was like, get the fuck out of here, go park in a parking spot, there's plenty of them out there. And he's like, fuck you. And the guy just grabbed him, started roughing him up, threw him down, knocked him over the trash can and all kinds of shit. Now the guy ends up down on the ground. There's like fuel and all, just picture all the nastiness that's all there around the fuel pump. Now you gotta roll around and all that shit. You just got whooped, dude, for what? You should just went and parked your truck in a parking spot. I think we need more of that. I'm about to go do that right now. But see, I've had my ass whooped enough that I'm smarter. I'm gonna go pick the weakest looking guy to fuck with him. Damn. You know what happened yesterday? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Of course I'm gonna tell you all about it. Right? I don't want to leave anyone out. So what happened yesterday is the goddamn phones went down, man. I guess it was just AT&T, right? But that was a real predicament because I was delivering at a DC at like 6 a.m. Alright. And there was a few things on it. But I back up to the dock and everything like that. I didn't have a phone off for like 6 fucking hours already before that. And we get in there and they got the lumper service and everything. And there's like 5 of us talking like, is your phone working? No. Is your phone working? No. There's a couple like Verizon people phones that were working. The dumbass women who are running the lumper service, the rip-off fucking lumper service, their phones are not working, right? So, okay, whatever. And then she processes our stuff and she's like,
Just go back out to your truck and wait, and we will text you the lumper information, and you can pay your lumper bill.
Which I do like how they do that now, how they send it to your phone, you just, do it.
And then after you pay your lumper bill, we will text you again, and you can come back inside and get your paperwork.
Will you? Really? That's what you're gonna do, huh? You fucking dipshit. The phones don't work, lady. Fuck. What is wrong with you? We're all standing here bitching about it. Our phone's not working. Your phone don't work. We were just talking about it. You fucking Nimrod. So, somebody says that to her, like, how you gonna do that? Like, the phones don't work. And she's like,
oh yeah, you're right.
she looks at the other lady all distraught, like,
what are we gonna do here? How are we gonna do all this?
this one dude goes, you could just walk your ass out there. Like, well said, dude. Well fucking said. Kind of scary, man. Kind of scary. Could you imagine if, like, real shit happened? It was a predicament. Obviously I couldn't get my backhaul information or nothing like that. I couldn't even pay the lumper because I couldn't get a hold of the broker. I couldn't get a hold of my guy. So I ended up paying him on my credit card, which I'm not doing that no more. I've done it before in the past where I couldn't get a hold of somebody, so I just pay it and get reimbursed like the next day, But this fucking lumper triple charged my card. Same charge 3 times. Good thing for Capital One got a hold of me and let me know about it, but I'm still fighting. I can't get a hold of that faggot lumper service. They won't answer the phone, and then when I finally did get to somebody, they're like, hold on, I'll transfer you, and they keep hanging up on me, because they're not going to do anything about it because they're lumpers. Like, you got brokers and lumpers, and then you got felon convicts who are way up above them, in the chain of life, because they're, really go out and actually steal shit is a lot more work than being a broker or a fucking lumper. Maybe not being the actual lumper that does the work. I'm not saying that. You're working. Just a lumper company, They always rip you off, right? And now they just triple charge your fucking cards. Which my guy said he would reimburse me for, but, really? Who wants to fuck around with all that bullshit? But we get out there, and it's like, there was 2 younger truck drivers that were like, oh, I don't know what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you got to go to the truck stop, stupid. Like, maybe you can get Wi-Fi at the truck stop, do a Wi-Fi call, or do an email or text or something through the Wi-Fi. I would say find a payphone, but there ain't no fucking payphones around anymore, but that's going to be your best bet is go to the truck stop and we'll see what happens, right? Duh. And we get to the truck stop, and there's a fucking line to use the phone. Now, it was pretty cool for Loves to let us all use the phone. So we're all standing there, and I'm talking, like 20 minutes or so waiting in line to get a hold of our dispatchers and shit. It was a little more than what you think, and that was just one phone service provider. Because what happens is, there's not a lot of people having landlines anymore. So they're not really upgrading the landlines or really keeping up on them or anything. So when all of a sudden, say a phone like Loves goes from making, 10 phone calls an hour to making fucking 200 phone calls or whatever, it overloads the fucking system, and the system starts to crash. So Love's phone starts to crash, and it's like, holy shit, this is a fuck deal. And we're calling, I finally get back a hold of him, and he's actually kind of yammering on about stuff, and I'm thinking, like, what are you doing? There's like a line of people behind me waiting. Like, shut up, just give me the load information. And I forgot how fucked up it is getting your load information over the phone. When someone says something, you don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, but you don't know what they exactly said. And, older folks know how to transfer information over a telephone and such. It's kind of like the police, when the police get you, because they get you sometimes, right? And when they're calling in your license plate, right, it might be like G as in George, U as in Utah, A as in Adam, 338. Very clear, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm right. I'm weird, but I'm right. So no, we're in the younger generation. We're gonna say, yeah, go over to St. Mary Street, you know, and it's 1213 St. Mary Street, Zippacona, Florida. You know, the pickup time's 9 a.m. and you know all this, and you're like, wait, did you say St. Mary's? What Florida? I'm writing this with a pen. You know, I'm not. What's going on here? Like, dude, slow the fuck down, dude. Like, shit. Give me a minute to write this shit down and fucking enunciate. And then I was like, and turn the goddamn speakerphone off. Because I can't fucking hear. We got a line of people in here yelling and bitching. I wasn't the only one, man, because I seen two drivers just throw the phone down and go, fuck that. I'm just going back to bed. I'll go to work tomorrow. They weren't even going to fuck with it, man. It's kind of a shit show. But, dude, what happens, man, if, like, something real ever happens? Like, China blows up some satellites, or Russia or something, you know, or just hackers, you know. They're all about wars, you know. We got a lot of them going on right now. They technically say we're not at war, but we're over there blowing shit up, right? You know, and we're supplying weapons to Ukraine and probably other countries and all that. We're always at fucking war. We're the United States. We can't mind our own business. We're a bunch of Karens. Well, actually, the people in the United States aren't. We want to just make a decent living and go on about our life. But our government is obviously fucking got a lot of time on their hands, so they're a bunch of Karens, right? And they got to go be the police for the whole world as we got huge potholes and shit in the roads and stuff over here, you know? Just think about it a minute. It's true. But anyway, what happens if someone does a real war? People say, oh, China can't get to us. We'd blow them up before they got over here. Russia's missiles won't reach us. North Korea's missiles won't reach us. All that kinds of shit. Okay, whatever, dude. We ain't talking about guns and tanks and shit. What if they hack all the grids and the fucking internet systems and all that stuff? I mean, obviously trucking's gonna go down, right? What happened during COVID, man? When fucking didn't take very long, did it? You know, and everything run out. The shelves was empty. They were. We ain't sitting here talking about what could happen. We saw it happen. If you ever went to the store during COVID and you were like, what the fuck, the whole shelf's empty. Yeah, man. It wouldn't take shit. They say we're only a matter of a couple days away from, like, running out of everything. So just trucking going down would be a huge problem. Airlines, yada, 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 right? Fucking YouTube. Could you imagine if you couldn't sit there and watch YouTube shorts? Holy fuck, we'd have people killing themselves and everything. Porn, the porn probably wouldn't work. They'd probably make that work, though. The porn, they would keep going somehow. Because the porn dudes are smart. They would have some sort of backup system, right? It is a real thing. Whatever happens if that happens. Huh? AT&T still hasn't said what happened to the phone system. That makes you wonder. And it could have been getting hacked, right? We know there's been other stuff hacked. We know there's been these ransom hacks and all this stuff. But no worries, because I got my notification yesterday that AT&T is reimbursing me $5 for my loss for that day. So I got my $5. We're good. Yo, good morning. Good morning-ish. All right. Well, I just want to have a morning cigarette with me, or what? What do you want to do? This fucking truckers, man. Did I ever tell you that a lot of truckers try to suck a little bit? Ever tell you that? Not you, bud. You're alright. You got your safety vest on. You're good. But, fucking Werner, man. I go on a truck stop last night, man. And it was wide open, right? So you got your two, your center row where you back up to each other, right? And then you got the row across. What's Werner do? He noses in the center row in the middle of the day, because you got enough room to make the swing, right? Because you can go all the way over in them spots over there and pull in here. Well, what happens when we back in on both sides and then the row across just fills up? Little trivia. You can't get out. It ain't like, oh, you got to be a real good backer to get out. No, you can't get out. It's not physically possible, because you wouldn't have been able to make that turn with all that stuff there. That stuff came after you parked there, dude. You can't back it out, dude. Even a fucking the best trucker in the whole world right here that you're looking at, besides Holland Donkey and this guy Truck. So the third best, we discussed that, but I'll meet you on the fuel island. And I wouldn't be able to back it out of there, dude. There just ain't enough room. You can't swing over that way. Your trailer would hit the other trucks, right? I wondered last night when I went to bed. I was like, this dude's gonna be an idiot, probably. And yeah, sir, nah, fucking rat-a-tat-tat on the fucking door. Can you move your truck? No. Fuck no. Dude, I was already up. And my curtains were open. But no, I was in the bunk. And I'm moving my truck. He sat there for a while. He did get out. But he had to back. He got lucky because the guy across here left, so he could back straight into that parking spot and then turn out of there, you know. Which I don't know, you know. I could see someone saying you could back it out of there. Yeah, maybe you could. You might be able to. I mean, if you could, it would be like right down to the inches to be able to do it. But it'd be pretty fucking tricky and pretty stupid. Just back in like everyone else does. Why you gotta be the only fucking retard in the whole parking, you know, there's 200 trucks in here and you're the only fucking idiot that nosed in, you know, knocking on people's fucking doors and shit all the time. That happened last week too. Some faggot wanted to get into a spot and knocked on my door, I'm pretty sure. Ugh. Grumpy. Made me grumpy early in the morning, man. There was another guy too. I was in PA. Oh, the stupidity. That was a broker. I had to answer the phone for the brokers. You know, you gotta get an update even though we're on the trackers. And like, I'm fucking duh. I'm not even at my appointment time yet or nothing. I can't even get there this fucking early, dude. Like, you know what time the appointment is. You know what time they open. They ain't even open yet. Damn, man. What the fuck was I bitching about? Oh, yeah, I was out in PA, right? So I don't have an APU, man. And I can sit there with my bunk heater for quite a while, you know, hours, with the lights running and my laptop plugged in and all that nonsense, and the refrigerator and everything. But, you know, every few hours or so, I got to fire this bitch up high idle to charge up the batteries for quite a while. And I was doing that, and I was outside the truck just kind of looking it over a little bit. Because I actually do that sometimes. It's a weird, mysterious thing, but I actually kind of do a little inspection on my truck occasionally. I mean, I do it every morning, but, yeah, you know, you feel me on that. And this fucking dumb shit truck driver comes walking over and goes,
"You're not supposed to idle out here."
"Oh, really?"
He's like, "Yeah, there's a sign right out there when you come in."
"Are you getting snotty with me, fatty?" "Really?" "No fucking shit, asshole. You know, I've known that for like since 2004 when they enacted that stupid law. Like, who gives a shit? Go back over to your parking spot, fatty. I got an idea. Why don't you go inside and take a shower, you fucking skank bag?" Why would you go over and say that? No one used to do this shit back in the day. Old school shit, this shit did not happen back in the day, man. That's how you start a fight with somebody. What happened to fucking respect, man? You go right on YouTube shorts and you see all this Karen bullshit going on. Dude, back in the day when you got in another man's fucking business, you better be ready to throw down. But now, if you throw down, I get it. I mean, I got a couple assault charges myself, and they get expensive and become a real problem. And you get too many of them, then you end up going to the fucking clink. But back in the day, you know, the cops overlooked that shit. They were like, shouldn't have been running your mouth. Now you fucked around and found out, got your ass whooped, didn't you? You know? Life was better. I mean, I'm not like sitting here justifying like full-on violence all the time. That would be a little chaotic. But you get what I'm saying, man. Like, there's just some complete idiots. I found that like tough guys, like real tough guys, they don't say stupid shit like that. It's always some fat fucking tiny guy or, you know, like, ugh, with that shit. So you got that fucking idiot. There's two dumbasses. What else am I pissed about? You know, I got 2 inspections in 2 weeks. 1 per week, right? And the first one, I was like, that's kind of weird. The second one, man, that dude just picked me right out. He like followed me up to the Ag Accept Center and then followed me into the scale, then pulled me all the way back to the barn, and then I figured we were going in for like the full inspection. And then he looked at just my driver's license and my license plates. He never asked for paperwork or anything. And he comes back, "Oh, you're good, man." I'm like, what'd you think I was doing? Like, he was following me for like a long time, like fucking around. I was like, what do I got, like Mexicans hiding up underneath this bitch or what? What's going on? Let's pull me over. Let's get it over with. But 2 inspections in 2 weeks, that's quite a lot, don't you think? And Sizzle and Trucker got one not too long ago. She's only worked here a couple months. I think we might be a target. I think we might be a target because of some DOT scores. Just saying. Just saying that I think that might be it. Because, man, I tell you, what have I done? 17 years or something out here like that? And I think maybe 4 inspections, not counting those 2, in my entire 17 years, and to get 2 in 2 weeks, that's pretty weird. I wasn't speeding, I wasn't driving like a dick, I wasn't doing nothing. That's pretty strange. But you know, on that note, I'm gonna tell you guys something that you didn't know, because I ain't told you yet. You know I was gonna be a DOT officer? I was too. Yeah, I love these fucking cigarettes, man. They go out on you all the time, right? Go ahead, hit the comments, you know. Those are expensive and you're gonna die. Thank you, I love you too. Don't worry about me, you don't even know me. You know what I mean? My name might not even be Dustin. It might be Dalton. Maybe it's Pete or something. But I like all you guys, except for you. You know I don't like you. But anyway, I was gonna be a DOT officer. For real. For shiz, man, I was, right? Over in Ionia, Michigan, right, there was getting pretty hard up for DOT officers. So I was like, that's interesting. I looked into it. The money's actually not that bad, right? And you're not out here trucking. You're not dealing with all this bullshit all the time. So I was like, I might go do that, right? So I got a hold of them. And I was gonna, you know, shave off the old goatee and get me one of them military crew cuts, put on my uni, you know, and come out here and do some shit, right? And I will not lie to you, I had some kind of ulterior motives on that. As you noticed on my channel, like, one of the biggest things that pisses me off out here ain't the wind, the snow, the waiting for shit, the brokers, my dispatcher, all that. That's all annoying. The shower this morning, you know, kept getting hot and cold. You feel my pain? It's the other truck drivers. They make me mad a lot. The 30-minute breaks on the fuel pump. I don't even know what we got going on over here. I should pull my camera down and show you. At the fuel pump, we got like 2 trucks pointing this way, 3 pointing the other way. Which way goes in and out? Like, the way with the arrows, probably. Those big arrows painted on the ground. It's gone completely fucking retarded now. But as you know, I have an issue with truck drivers sometimes, right? So I was like, hey, that's perfect. I can get home every night. I make decent money. It's a controlled job, you know, all that nonsense. And I can fuck up some truck drivers, you know what I'm saying? I'll just be honest. Now, if you're fucking intelligent and you're a good driver and you got a brain over your head, you would know that actually I would be a good DOT officer, because, you know, first of all, when I got a hold of them, I told them, you know, that I'm a certified mechanic, and they were like, cha-ching, dude, they don't even got to teach me all that shit, you know. But here's the thing, you know, you come in there and your shit's all pretty much legal, and you got like a little PC time or a little tiny air leak or, you know, light out or some shit like that, right? Some small bullshit, right? I would be better to deal with, because I am a trucker, right? And I know what it's like being out here, and I know what it's like dealing with all the bullshit. So, providing all the rest of your shit is in order, and you seem alright, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna let that motherfucker slide, dude. You come in and your fucking bullshit, duct taped fucking piece of shit truck, all your paperwork's expired, not order, and all that, and this and that and everything. I'm red tagging your ass, dude. I am fucking you up as far as the fucking power of the law will let me fuck you up. And that is probably one good reason that I am not in law enforcement, because that's probably not a very good attitude to have, right? Right? Come on. But that was my plan, man. I was like, I'm gonna fuck these guys up, because I get mad. I ride down the road, I see unprofessional bullshit, fucking wheel bearings wobbling and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? This fucking piece of junk riding down the road, I get 2 inspections, man. So, I ultimately didn't end up doing it, obviously, But I'll tell you why I didn't end up doing it. Because when I talked to him more about it, I had to become an actual copper, dude. I know it sounds stupid that I didn't realize that, but I was kind of thinking that maybe they would just give me a job as like a DOT inspection guy or something like that, and I could work the scales and inspect truck. No, I had to go through full copper training and get the copper car and the copper gun belt and all that bullshit, right? Which makes sense, because if I'm sitting at the scale and somebody did a bank robbery or a kidnapping or something and they need all units to go out and fucking handle this shit, I need to shut the scale down and go jump in my cop car and go do my copper shit. And I was like, no, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to be a cop. That wouldn't even feel right. Half my friends wouldn't even hang out with me anymore. They'd all be fucking afraid that I would bust them. You know, so I was like, oh, that sucks. I don't want to be a cop. And they're like, yeah, you got to. I'm like, yeah, ixnay on that whole fucking deal. Can you see me? Do I look safe? I feel safe. I feel safe. Let's just face it, man. Fuck these DCs, man. Now we're at the Target DC. Damn, man. There's all this bullshit you gotta do to do all your bullshit. I got 4 pallets sitting on that trailer over there. They ain't even full pallets. They're only like 2 foot tall. And they just need to come off real quick. But we're gonna be here for a minute, right? With our safety vests and all our bullshit on. But here's the thing. I fucking got here at 12:30, man. They made me leave and come back at 4 and all this nonsense. And then the broker calls and he's like, did you make that delivery over there at the Target? And I'm like, what time's the appointment, fuckface? You know? Like, duh. No, you got tracking. Oh, we already talked about that. What's up with the DCs anyway? How about the Walmart ones? Tell me how this works, man. You guys ever get a Walmart fucking DC delivery that you don't have to PC in and out of? Because I never do. Because here's how they always work it, right? Let's say your appointment's at 5 a.m. So if you were to pick up the load at a time where you could drive there and say get there at 4, right, or whatever, and then sit there until 7 to get unloaded, then you would have enough hours, because you would go in there, right, straight there, get unloaded, and then you would go out and go to the truck stop. But the way they always do it with me is they don't give me quite enough time to, they don't set it up so I can just drive there and unload, but they also don't set it up so that I can drive somewhere around there, because generally they don't let you park on site, right? And then take a 10-hour break. It's always like get there like 5 hours before your delivery. So if you're delivering at 5 a.m., you get there at like fucking midnight, right? Well, that's not enough. It's not enough. You just don't have enough of your 14-hour clock left, but you also don't have enough to take a 10-hour break. So you always got a PC, like I did with the one last week. Go past all the truck stops, go to DC, sit there for 4 minutes or whatever, so it looks like I dropped my trailer, go on PC back to the truck stop, fuck around there, take a nap, and then PC back, because that's legal, right? It looks like I dropped my trailer, and then I went to the truck stop, and then I came back to get my trailer. It's PC from shipper, right? Because you know what? They really can't even tell. I don't even drive all the way up to them, you know? As long as the logbook hits the same city. Some people get so worried about this stuff. They're like, yeah, you could put on there that you bobtailed, but you had your trailer. Yeah, if I would have got pulled over between then and there, it might have looked a little fishy, but I was on some side roads and shit. You know, you ain't really got to worry about that. It ain't like a murder investigation, you know? They're not, like, checking to see where your fucking cell phone pings off the towers and all that nonsense. It's just a logbook. But you ever get any? Huh? You ever get any that you don't have to fucking do that? Because I never do it. And these are always just such a fucking hassle. And I'm trying to go home, which is always worse, right? Dude, here comes another one of them guys. Hi. Yeah, your airlines are dragging on the ground there, bud. That's why you're supposed to put them in the rack when you're done, stupid. Oh, man. Dude, if I had a trucking company, I'd fucking fire everyone and then I'd quit. But I forgot what I was even ranting on about. who the fuck knows? I know that I had some issues with the truck, man. I went into Love's, man. I got the oil changed. I was even ranting about that kid being good at his job and all that stuff. And I shut down for the night, got up, truck wouldn't start. Had to prime it, which I'm going to do a video on that. You know, priming it and shit like that one of these days. But, it went on for a minute. So I was like, man, he must have left that O-ring in there. Because a lot of times they'll fuck up when they change that fuel filter and leave the old O-ring in there and put the new one on. So I don't have the filter wrench to take it off, so I had to take a screwdriver and beat it around, you know, and fucking get it off. And sure shit, the old O-ring was in there. So I was like, oh, problem solved, dumb fucker. Yeah, blah, 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 you know. No, it still kept dying out. It wouldn't start, right? Losing my fuel pressure. So I was like, man, maybe the rails are leaking. Something's wrong with this thing. So I go take it to the shop. And the dude, first of all, we went to like a regular tow truck company shop, which is a good idea because TA will have you sitting there forever, right? Sizzling sat there like 22 hours the other day to get a PM and the air leak fixed and all this other bullshit. And then they like woke her up at midnight, like, you can come in now. And she's like, fuck you, I'm sleeping tomorrow. And all this shit, you know, we've all done that whole sit around. If Loves or TA tells you 3 hours, it's going to be like 8, you know. So I didn't want to deal with none of that bullshit. So we went to like this towing company, right? And this dude pulls it apart. Man, he was a good mechanic. I did not even see it. In the side of that O-ring was a flat little defect on there. And that was enough to make the lose pressure. I tried to fix it. But that kind of went like a shit show. But anyway, speaking of Breezewood, right? Story time, right? Got my story time vest on, like Mr. Rogers. Anyway, old Breezewood, right? If you ever been there, it's kind of a fucked up deal. The freeway's all kind of in, and you got to go down in this little town area deal and then junction back on your freeways. Well, I used to stay there all the time because back in the day I run the East Coast, I ran New York City and all that shit every week. So a lot of times I was out for 2 weeks. So the way I ran back and forth, I would end up having to do my reset there in Breezewood. Well, if you've been through there, there's that Econo Lodge right there that had the bar in the front of it. Now the Econo Lodge is burnt the fuck down. The bar's still there, but it's closed down, right? I used to go there and have the greatest times there. I would stay in the motel, put my truck right there in the parking lot. You know, it was all safe and sound and legal. And I went there so much that I'd walk in and people were like, hey, Dustin. You know, it was fucking good times, right? So there's that side of it. But my point in my mind right now is you guys would be amazed how many truck drivers drive drunk. I mean, actually drive these fuckers down the road drunk. Because when I used to sit there in Breezewood, we'd have, you know, a bunch of us drivers would be there, we'd be drinking, we'd drink all night, you know, but we'd have some from time to time. They would come in, they'd be doing shots with us and drinking, you know, we're all partying and stuff, and then they'd be like, and I've seen this several times. And then they'd be like, oh man, gotta get going, I gotta make my delivery. And we're thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, you gotta get to bed, because you probably gotta get up tomorrow and make your delivery. No. They're going in the truck. You would go outside to smoke a cigarette. They go over to the truck, release the brakes, put the bitch in gear, and take off because they got to go make their delivery like right now, right? And they just dropped like 5 Jager bomb shots and drank like 6 beers. You know, you're fucking drunk. So I come in there one day, right, when the Econo Lodge is still there. I park my rig in the parking lot. I want to get to the bar, you know, and start drinking and partying and karaokeing and, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Doing all that fun stuff. No work, no truck driving bullshit. Let's go fucking rip her up, right? I'm all excited. But I gotta get a shower. I can't go in there all stanking and shit. So I go into the room and I fucking turn the shower on and the knob of the shower breaks off, right? And I'm like, motherfucker. But I got to go drink, you know, I got priorities, man. So I just took a shower, right? And then I got around, I was going by the front desk and I'm like, hey, I'm in room 232 or whatever. And the shower knob broke off and the fucking water's just sitting there running. And the guy's like, yeah, blah, 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 a bunch of shit. I was like, it wouldn't shut off, dude. It's sitting there running wide open into the bathtub. He's like, all right, we'll take care of it. I go to the bar and party till like 1:30 in the morning, you know. And I'm like, I don't know, probably like 20 feet from my room, like multiple rooms away from my room, all staggering, with this really old lady that I was partying with. I remember her. She was like 85 years old, dude, and she was trying to fuck me, man. She like was following me back to my room and shit. It was kind of creepy. I'll remember her. I'll never forget her, man. She was a creepy old broad. She was fun to party with until she started trying to fuck me. But anyway, we're walking down the hallway, and I'm trying to ditch her, and all of a sudden, like, slosh, 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 the fucking carpet's all soaking wet and shit. I forgot all about that shit. I figured they wouldn't fix it. Dude, I opened the door, the fucking room's all flooded, man. The bathtub plugged up, the fucking water all flooded and shit. I go back up to the front desk, and they're like, oh, the guy comes running down there with a pair of channel locks and shuts it off, and he's like, oh, we'll get you another room. And I was like, dude, I don't even give a fuck, man. I fucking jumped into bed and went to sleep because I was drunk. I woke up in the morning, slosh, slosh. I was like, what the fuck happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. Called front desk. Yeah, I'm gonna need that other room, man. You think guys got some problems over here, you know? Hence the fucker burning down. It's kind of a piece of shit. But had some stuff out that way. Another night I was out there, and you'd go out on the steps there and smoke. Well, back then when I would go to the bar, I'd kind of make a little posse, basically, is what I would do. It's kind of a good idea to cover your ass a little bit, too, when you're just out randomly partying all over the country. So, I'm actually a pretty nice guy a lot of times, and kind of fun to party with. So I would go in, and say 4 or 5 of us are all drinking together, shooting pool and shit. I'd be buying rounds, shooting pool and all that stuff, having a good time with everybody. So I'd always have a few guys that liked me, and not the way you guys are thinking. I don't know, maybe they did, but they never tried nothing. But we kind of chummed up, because I actually used to run into drivers out there that I would party with one night, and then I'd see them again there like a month later, man. I made kind of friends with some of them, kind of miss them a little bit. But one night we're standing out there smoking a cigarette, and the fucking bouncer kid, who, by the way, cleaned the showers over at the Flying J during the day. I'm just standing there smoking. All of a sudden, this fucker comes flying out the door. He grabs me by the shirt and, like, starts dragging me down the stairs and shit. And I'm, like, trying to grasp onto him and, like, figure out what the fuck is going on here. Next thing I know, man, 2 dudes come off the top of the steps, and they're like, bam, right on top of his ass, man, tackling him down to the ground. One dude's got his fucking knee right on the dude's neck and shit. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing, you little fucker, and all this shit. Well, I'm still not being a very tough guy, I'll be honest. I was still standing there like, what the hell is going on, dude? The barmaid told him to kick some dude out, right? And he got the wrong guy. It was me, and I didn't do nothing. So, actually, I got, the owner was there, just happened to be there with his wife that night because it was her birthday. And, I come back in and sat down. They bought me free drinks that whole night, and then I came back like 2 weeks later, and they bought me free drinks and like chicken wings and everything that whole night too, which is a lot of money, really. I drink up a lot when I'm at the bar. So they were cool about it, but I think they got rid of him. I fucking used to see him over there at the Flying J when I would stop, and I'd be like, go clean a shower, bitch. You know what I mean? That fucking pissed me off. Like, get your job right, man. I mean, that shit happens. My other spot was out Grand Junction, Colorado. When I would run California, a lot of times I would stop in Grand Junction and do my reset. If you've ever been there, there's a little kind of skanky bar down on the strip. And there's that pilot, like, way the fuck out there where the Uber driver fucks you over on shit. I probably already told that story, but you can ride to the bar for like $25, but it's like $85 to get back because he knows, And it's kind of a thing around there. They know the Uber drivers do that. But anyway, I was in that bar one night having a good old time. And that one can get a little rowdy. I will say that. And this fucking fight breaks out. And it ain't like a couple dudes that don't know how to fight. They knew how to fight. It was like, bam. And you could like feel the punches. And they were doing like it was like some MMA shit going on, right? Next thing you know, there's like 4 or 5 guys all in this fight, everybody's backing up their buddies and shit. And it's kind of over on the other side of the bar. I kind of wanted, it was getting a little rough in there anyway. I wanted to go across the street to the sports bar where it's a little more classy and I ain't about to get knocked the fuck out. Well, I still ended up pretty much getting knocked the fuck out, man, because I cashed out, I downed my drink, man. I was no more heading for the door, and this big ass bouncer dude is fighting those guys, right? Well, they start coming my way because he's fighting like two guys, and there's a wall right there behind me. And the only thing I, just instinct, I like grabbed his back, because he's coming after me, to like push him back or whatever. And this dude is in the middle of a fight, so he's in the mode. So he's thinking that someone's jumping on his back. He turns around, and this guy was huge, man. Crack. Fucking hit me so hard. Oh, dude, it was bells and whistles, man. It was all over. I hit the floor like a bag of shit. And then I fucking crawled out the door. Some lady opened the door. She saw what happened. And I was like crawling out the fucking door. It was rough. I'm sitting out there on Main Street. These nice women stopped and they're like, oh, wow, you just got fucked up. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking hit. I probably got a concussion. The bouncer apologized immensely and they bought me a bunch of drinks the next time I was there as well. But it wasn't his fault. He thought he was, getting attacked from the back. It wasn't my fault either, but god damn, that one hurt. So we're gonna wrap up this week, my friends, but you're gonna wanna watch next week. We got some changes going on around here, let's just say we're packing some stuff up in this here rig. And for all y'all loyal people who have followed my whole misadventures here, when we started with the whole process of dumping the housing and living out on the road to fix my financial fuck-ups and to ultimately buy a mobile home and a mobile home park because I don't want to be homeless when I'm old and I don't got that much longer to work, so I don't need to be trying to buy no fancy fucking house and get a 30-year mortgage, do I? So I bought the mobile home and all that nonsense, right? And then the next step was to come off the road more often, but I'm not real sure if we're not just going to skip that step and go right to day cab. But we'll see what happens. I will update you on that one. And of course, I appreciate you guys always watching my nonsense here. And I'll catch you on the next one.